Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I know I have not made like a face-to-face video in a while, so you haven't seen my face in a bit because I've just been going through it for the past few months, and it's crazy because this last video that I just uploaded, I think it was on Friday, I uploaded this video of like a plan with me, and I pull out these cards, these like spiritual cards that I like to pull, and one of them said that my hardships are finally going to come to an end and I won't need to struggle anymore, kind of thing. And it ended up being true because I finally am able to move out of my parents' house and be in my own apartment again. For the last 8 months I've been living at home. I essentially hit rock bottom and I lost everything. I was in a relationship that ended up ripping apart. We're not together anymore, and it was a very toxic 5 years of my life. It was a really tough transition of leaving a really toxic relationship, coming back home to my family's house, and having to stay here and settle for the last 8 months has been insane, while also starting a brand new job as a school slipper. It was a really tough year. My supervisors, 2 of them, are really tough on me, so it was really hard with having to deal with coming back home and the release of that relationship, and then starting a new job, and then having to deal with these difficult supervisors. Was a crazy start of the year, end of last year. And now I'm finally getting to be on my own 2 feet again, and it feels so freaking good. I'm starting a new contract with the same school district and getting paid just a little bit more. It's a really nice apartment. I'll make a whole video all about it, just kind of giving you guys a little bit of a tour. But today's video, why I'm talking about this, is because today's video is all about how to get the results you want immediately, right? Immediately. And we'll talk a little bit more about what immediately actually means and how you can actually go from hitting rock bottom and starting from a place where you never really thought you would end up to getting the results that you've always wanted to have, and how to actually go after them, because it's not just hitting rock bottom and then just staying there. No, it's learning how to climb yourself right back out. So before we begin, I did want to finally start mentioning my accountability membership group called the Studio of Self, where we are a private space for females who want to take accountability for their own actions, who feel like they lack community in their real life, who can actually help them get to accomplishing their goals, and just learning how to have structure. Structure is so important when it comes to accomplishing your goals. It's not just doing and doing and doing. It's why we're doing, how to strategically do something, and how to actually get what we need in the time that we want, right? In the time frame that we want to have it by. So if you guys are interested in all of that, the link to that will be down in the description below. Just sign up for the wait list, and then when the time has come to launch this thing, I will go ahead and launch it. But I stopped promoting it a little bit on my channel just because of everything that I've just been going through for the last few weeks, which now I'm finally just settling out now, and we're getting right back into it. We're coming back. Okay, I didn't quit. I just needed a break, but we're back. Okay. So that will be down in the description below. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. Also, click the notification bell so you do know when I do upload. Follow me on my social media. Okay, so number 1, you actually don't have a lot of time. Thing is that we hear this saying a lot of, time is gonna pass by anyway, so might as well do it, right? And for a procrastinator like I usually turn this in my head as, oh, I have a lot of time to start, so therefore I'm just going to start it later. But in reality, when you put 2 and 2 together, you don't actually have a lot of time. So if you want to get results immediately, you have to understand that yes, time is going to pass by. You may think it's going to you may think like, oh, I have a lot of time. It's not going to be until next year when I need to fit into my bikinis, or this really important like event isn't happening for another few months. Like I'll be able to get into shape in no time. In reality, we don't actually have a lot of time. When you do things in a healthy manner, you don't actually have a lot of time. For example, let's say by next summer you want to fit into bikini, okay? Because this summer it's already too late if you're not fit as it is right now. If you don't feel comfortable in your own skin wearing a bikini, the summer is almost over, okay? We're about to enter August. If you want to look good for next summer, then you have to put in the work this summer, because if you lose weight in a healthy manner, right, which is a pound to 2 pounds a week, and let's say you have around, I don't know, 30 to 40 pounds that you need to lose, you're roughly having to wait at least 25 to 50 weeks or 25 to 40 weeks until you can see all of that weight come off. Because in a healthy weight, again, you can only lose around 1 to 2 pounds. If you're losing more than that, it's most likely probably water weight, or you're doing it in an unhealthy manner. So if you want to do things in a healthy manner, if you want to do things right, if you actually want to get to your results immediately, you're going to have to do it the right way. You're going to have to do it the healthy way, and you're going to have to start right now. Because 30 to 50 weeks, 30 to 40 weeks, you're thinking like a year and a half before you can actually see the results that you want. So if you want to start to have the body of your dreams, you got to start today, because a year and a half later is going to be summer again. A year from now, it's going to be summer. So doesn't that mean you need to start today in order to look your best by next summer? Yes, it does. So you don't actually have a lot of time. So when we switch these things around in our head of, I have a lot of time versus time is going to pass by anyways, you have to think, if I want to do it in a healthy way, if I actually want to have the results immediately, I need to do them today. I need to do them now so that I can come to it faster for me. Because the longer that you wait the start time, the further you're going to have to push back your deadline. So if you want to lose weight by next summer and you don't start until winter time, then all you're doing is just pushing back that deadline of how you're actually going to look good. Isn't going to be by the summertime. It's going to probably be by the end of next year, which is winter, which is around the winter time. So that means you're not even going to look your best next summer. You're going to look your best next summer. So if you want to get to a specific timeline, you have to think, okay, you have to do the math. If I want it by next summer, what do I have to do today? What if I want to lose this amount of pounds, if I want to have this amount of money, if I want to have this amount of things, what do I have to do to get it by the timeline that I want it for? What's my realistic timeline? Get your results immediately. It means to get them at an appropriate time, that the deadline that you set. So for example, for me, I really want to become a full-time content creator. I've said this for over a year already, okay? Over a year. I'm pretty sure you're tired of me hearing it from me. But I really want to become a YouTube content creator by next year. So what does that mean? That means I have to continue on from today to get that results next year. Because if I just wait to start until later, then that means I'm not gonna get my goal by next year. I'm not gonna get them immediately. Because immediately means that you're getting them in a healthy, appropriate manner. When you actually go through things in an appropriate manner, then you are going to get your results immediately. Because if you try to cut corners, if you try to, be slick about it to try to get it like by next week, most likely you're going to get it, but it's not going to be here for the long run. It's only going to be here for the short term, because you've only done short-term tasks. You've only took the shortcut, so you're going to have a short run with your goal. For example, again, weight. So if you take a certain pill or you do a certain surgery to have the weight that you want, but you don't have the capabilities of maintaining that weight, all you're going to do is just have that short run with your weight and then just gain it all back, because you didn't build up the discipline to maintain that weight that you wanted. So speaking of discipline, right? Number 2, you lack the discipline to time manage properly. So in order to get your results immediately, you have to learn how to time manage properly. You need to learn how to time manage and be disciplined about your time management. So when you want results as soon as possible and not years from now, you need to learn how to manage your time around your goals. So this is why I started filming my videos of me planning, because discipline and time management go hand in hand. You need to learn where you're putting all your time to and what to put all your time to. So time management at its core is simply learning to do the task that matters most to you before anything else. That is all what time management is, okay? It is at its core, it is what you think is important at that moment. Before you do that thing, that most important thing to you right now, you do the task that means the most to you before anything else. Whether it's, I really need to cook right now, like the kids are hungry, I'm hungry, I need to eat, then that's the task that matters to you most. So you're going to prioritize cooking before anything else. Or it's, oh my god, my laundry is overfilling, I don't have any clothes for tomorrow, I don't even have pajamas for my kids tonight, I need to do laundry right now. Then you're going to prioritize that task before you prioritize anything else. So when you think about how you're going to start your day tomorrow, right? If you're planning for tomorrow right now at this very moment, you need to think, what is the thing that matters to me the most? What can I do first before I do anything else? If you're talking about like your morning routine, right? Okay, what is the number one thing that matters to me before I do anything else? What's the first thing that matters to me? Oh, it's brushing my teeth, it's getting up and using the restroom, or it's getting up and making breakfast. Okay, what's the next thing that matters to me most? When you look at the time, you assign it to a task that means the most to you at that specific time. So breakfast time is around 8 o'clock because that's when everyone gets hungry. So that's what you're going to prioritize at that specific time, because you know everyone's going to be cranky, you know you're going to be hungry, and you won't be able to get to anything unless you have food on the table and you have everyone eating. Okay, at 8 o'clock, the most important thing at that time is to eat. So I'm going to prioritize that at that moment. And then let's say from like 9 to 5, you're at work. That's a priority as well. Okay, I need to make sure that I'm getting to work on time. That is a priority. That's the thing that matters to me the most before anything else. So leaving at an appropriate time, getting to work at an appropriate time. And then, you know, whatever's at work happens at work. And then after that, after you come back home from work, at that time, what is the thing that's going to matter to you most at that moment? If it's 5 o'clock, okay, gotta make dinner. That's the thing that matters to me most at that specific time. Cool, write that in. Dinner time at 5 o'clock. After that, what is the next time slot? What can you assign that time to? What do you think is going to matter to you the most before you get anything else done after that? For me, it's usually going to the gym. I go to the gym around 5:30-ish. 5 to 5:30-ish is the time that I leave for the gym. So for me, at that specific time, the thing that I prioritize before anything else is going to the gym. Going to the gym, showing up and doing my arm workouts and walking. That is how you time manage. And the discipline is just simply showing up to what you've written down. And that is kind of like the hard part, right? Which is number 3. Number 3, keeping up is really, really hard. So we can write things down all day, every day. We can plan. But when we are showing up and we're trying to show up on a consistent basis, that is when hard is going to happen. That is when you're going to want to lay down. That is when you're going to want to throw in the towel. That is when you're going to want to quit, when you want to wait until tomorrow, when you want to procrastinate. Keeping up is so hard. So how do we do it? How do we move along with our life? How do we continue to keep going so we can continue to get the results that we want immediately? Well, number 1, quitting is never an option. Okay, quitting should never be an option. If you need to take a break, you can take a break. I needed to take a break. I'm in a season where things are really, really hard to keep up with as it is. Having to keep up with my goals was just not a priority at that point. It was my mental health and just recovery was more important than anything else. So that was just prioritizing my health. My physical health helped a lot with my mental health, and that is what I prioritized for the past few weeks. It wasn't even YouTube, it was my physical health, and that helped me a lot to keep me sane and to keep me grounded. I loved going to the gym and having that as like a miniature escape. Coming back to my goal of becoming a content creator, like showing up, quitting was never the option. Quitting was never the option when it came to me going after this goal of content creation, because when I was going through my whole situation of leaving my relationship, coming back home and really trying to make YouTube happen, I also became super upset and super depressed at the fact that I was only 500 hours away from accomplishing my goal of becoming monetized, to now having to reset the clock, because after a year I found out that all your watch hours that you built up for a year kind of disappear. They expire after a year. So all that year-long process that I had to become monetized kind of just, it went away. It doesn't exist anymore. Those don't count towards monetization. So I'm having to start all over from zero, and that took a huge toll on me. And so it just made me not want to upload on YouTube, because I'm like, what the heck is the point of me like feeding a black hole if I'm not even gonna be close to what I want? But at the end of the day, I just realized that monetization doesn't really matter, because I ended up getting amazing opportunities outside of monetization. I got sent free products multiple times. I even got sent to my first content creation event, which was so freaking cool. Like, when I think overall about quitting like YouTube and just being like, forget it, like it wasn't for me, that was just never the option. It just meant that I needed to re-strategize where I was putting all my energy to. So every day is going to look different, okay? Because you're not always going to be in the same season. Some seasons you're going to be really motivated to keep going, and some seasons you're going to look at what you're doing and you're going to be like disgusted, or you're going to feel some sort of way towards it. But quitting is never going to be the option. What is an option is just doing the absolute bare minimum for that goal. For example, let's say your ultimate goal is to lose weight, right? Lose weight and lose a certain amount of pounds by the end of this year. But let's say you've been going at it hard and hard again, and then you just, for whatever reason, cannot lose those last 10 pounds and you are struggling. And instead, you're probably gaining weight. And so instead of looking at that goal and being like, forget it, like nothing happened, and just quit, instead you can just do the absolute bare minimum, which is maybe just eating clean for that day. Maybe it's not over consuming calories and just eating the bare minimum, and just maybe having more cheat meals throughout the month. So keeping up is hard, but quitting is never the option. So if you guys enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Also click the notification bell so you do know when I do upload, and follow me on all my social media. I am at Geraldine Silva. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye! Mwah.